web pack. So for example, you were there in the Bangalore. Your library is the residence of that Hyderabad. If you need some of that major information here, so how did we get it? What is that main thing? So how did we get it that major information? So through the internet only. So web-based means in the totally to internet-based thing. So directly you can log in. Your login ID of that library referential credentials ID of the ID of that user ID and password. Easiest of the way to find out that information and get it and your research work. That is the web-based OPAC is called as a internet-based entirely your library. It will be goes to the screen in his hands. Total in the virtual of that library, what is the trends is the going on, what is the information is there. Total content of that information, it will be goes to the in his hands of that information, quick information. So that is called as a web pack of that information. And also recent phenomena. So recent phenomena mainly to focusing. So metrics. So operating systems is the metrics is majorly. So how many users there the login in web pack. So how many people there? It will be how it will be working on. This is the Windows platform or MS Office Microsoft system of that application. So what type of the MySQL of that system, MySQL software based it will be working on. So what type of that patterns it will be working on? Entirely all the patterns it will be supporting and retrieving the information. That is the mainly. So this is the one parameter. And finally, advantages of that web pack. So what is that main advantages? So mainly it will be supporting the web-based supporting system. So web-based supporting of the system is the first advantage. So first advantage means so people sitting there in the anywhere in the world, the people can be browsing the library and getting to that information. That is the first thing. And also majorly all the content of that information, the library in the OPAC it will be supported, whether the PDF format or HTML format or XML format. So what type of that format of that language is there, it will be supported to the by the OPAC only. And access the bibliographical records. So bibliographical records means entirely what is that author name, what is the title, what is the publishers, what is the journal name, what is the description of the documents, there are scanned documents. So yeah, whenever what type of the documents, that means entirely in your library, what type of that content is there, the total content of that information, it will be reflecting directly to the on the screen. That is the main motto of this thing. It will be reflected the more information effectively. That means in the bibliographical total content of that information directly to reflecting to the screen of the author. That is that means author means that is called as a user. That is the main thing. And also multiple electronic methods. So multiple electronic methods of the documentation means n number of the electronic of the documents. What are that online database is there in our data where the browsing. So each and everything it will be reflected to the, on the screen web pack. For example, your database is there IEEE where the searching and the web tool of that web pack. So what type of that OPAC of that method, it will be reflecting whether the document of the content, it will be totally, it will be open to the domain to access the information. That is the main thing. So, and also cataloging can access. So majorly the OPAC is the mainly the main objective of that method is going on cataloging system. Cataloging means classifying of in your library. Cataloging means classifying of your library. How it will be classifying, whether the author catalog, otherwise, subject wise, title wise, where the classifying. That is one basic method. Secondly, what type of that methodology you have to follow? The majorly the method is called as a classification. So that is the called as a DDC classification or CC classification. In the classification wise, each of that method we have the applied and displaying. So the cataloging is the more effectively to working on that. That is the main thing. And call number. So call number wise is also working on that. So call numbers, how did it be working on? Your library is the DDC. So DDC, Davidson classification, what is that? How did it be working on? Numeric. So once we have the mentioned the number, easiest of the way to find out. So this location is the 400 is there. 400 book is the language. 500 is the mathematics. 600 is the science and technology. So how do you can identifying the 00 generalities to up to 900 in their fingertips, it knows what is the classification of the numbers. So at the time, easiest of that way to give the classification of the numbers. That is the one thing. Notes presentation of the cataloging entries. So cataloging entries means what is the title, what is the author. Before and that in our library, we can enter the data. So that is the cataloging entry. Cataloging entry means we have the some new books are coming in our library. So new books are updated in the system. So that is the one of that method. So easiest of that way to uploading the information. Link to the other web sources. So for example, web resources. For example, where the purchasing our library is there, OPAC of that library, we were working on that. So in case we need one of the good content of that information, IIS, Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore, that type of that library is required to go browsing the content of that information. You can clicking on that in the OPAC in web we can uploading the online links of that e-resources. Once you can clicking on that, the automatically e-resources directly to reflected to connecting to the another e-resources. So that's why the user they did not to go to the other applications, other window, nothing else. Directly in the same content of the this application, it will be connected to the another application. So same one platform, it will be working in the multiple of that operations. So that is the main of the useful of these things. That is the mainly hard copy and electronic resources in the LinkedIn. So hard copy is what type of that images. For example, some catalog is there. Once you can click it and that the textbook of that image, we have the mention in the so that is the called as a in our software, just a Koha software, we have the uploaded. Koha, once we have the uploaded in the ISBN number, immediately it will be reflected to the book image. So for example, you have the some of the articles where project thesis is there. So dissertations is there. In the PDFs of that files we have uploaded, we are allocated one of that number. Easiest of that way to give the, it goes to the identification of that number to displaying that information. So this type of that methods is the major key role of the phenomena. And also mainly situation in India, examples of the British Library OPAC. So especially in the OPAC, the British Library is there. So British Library, Lipsis Library and British Library. So these two libraries is the OPAC, working on that OPAC based mode only. So OPAC based mode only means entirely in the all types of that areas it will be supporting to in our library. So for example, in the videos, home videos, for example, today the fashionate of that YouTube channels is there, cooking channels is there. They are the preparing of that cooking of that food and uploading in the web portal. So in the video that will goes to the lakhs of that likes. So same in the scenario here in the home videos, you are the uploading one of the marriage event is there. Your home video you can uploading it will be supported. For example, in our library we are conducting the library orientation program. That orientation of that program or image it will be uploaded. It will be easiest of that way to updating the information. So n number of the people your user program how it will be conducted, the information will be reflected on that video. And also education videos. For example, today all the education videos is there. In the new education policies, NPTL, National Programming Technical Enhancement of that Learning, or DTH, Swayam Prabha. So all the MOOCs, Swayam Prabha, OER, online education resources. So such type of that all the educational videos it will be directly to uploading in our video. What type of that course, for example, in the PGDLM, post graduation diploma in automation and library network, how it will be working on, what is the functionalities. You are uploading one of that video is the easiest of the way to understanding the library professionals. So children's audios, for example, in the children's, how it will be audience, they are playing the little bit of that songs, small stories, animal picturization. So such type of that audio and videos it will be more helpful. And multimedia. So multimedia means in the TV, CD and DVDs. So today is the outdated. Today EPS is the hard disk is came. So at the time, the what is the multimedia of the facilities? All the multilingual of the languages. That means in the media system, the social media today, that type of the all the any one of that video you have the uploading, it will be comes to under the multimedia of the section. So it will be also be supporting IT collections. So information technology collections is there. Today, what is the going on? What is the tendency? So the type of the new trends is going on. For previous days, what is that versions is going on? Today, the list configurations is the coming. So the type of the IT, latest trends and technologies we have the uploading. That is one contemporary. And second one, children's books. So in the children's books, what type of the books are there? That books it will be also it will be reflected one of that parameter. That is the one thing. So this is the majorly functionalities in the sustainability of the situations using in our library. It will be supporting the British library OPAC of that system, how it will be working on this contemporary. And also softwares are creating in the OPAC. So in the softwares they creating in the OPAC means in the UNESCO is there, they are the uploading the CDS ISS, one of the software, LIPSIS software is there, and also it will be goes to the VTLS, virtual software. It will be also is all our commercial software. It will be supporting to the web-based library services. This is the main thing of that library services in the OPAC of that area. Okay, this is the main thing. So please. The audible, please.
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Yeah. But sometimes the error is to be is it working or not, I don't know. Understanding. So the screen will be goes to the just sleep mode. Yeah, okay. In this scenario, Jetpoint 3950 is the one of the standards. So this is the web-based server standard protocol. So web that it will be comes to the sharp notes also in the examination of that point of view. In the Jetpoint 3950. So this is the standard Unix server identification. So this is the retrieving of that information. This server it will be supporting all content contemporary of that information. So Jetpoint first it will be upload Jetpoint 390, Jetpoint 39.50. It will be latest one. It is Jetpoint Jet 39.50 is the standard unique international synchronization of that number. That means this is the main server. This is the name is called as server. The server, any one of that people, any one of that information, they are the uploading in the server. It will be retrieving the information as the systematic of that manner of the way. So this is the entire the libraries. It will be goes to working on standard structure of that format. Best example of Jetpoint 3950. So this is the main of this thing is the your chapter is the OPAC. So this is the OPAC. Any short notes, the long notes is came to the answer. Definitely can give me. This is the key role of library operation of that module. Short note it will becomes then only what is that OPAC, what is the standards. You can give me that answer. In the brief description, they are the giving to the 15 marks of that question. You can thoroughly can give the answer in the 12 marks of that question perfectly. Okay. And next one is the library automation. So library automation in the circulation. Library automation means, the last class also we have the discussed. Library automation means entirely
Yes, yes,
all the
sir.
library function is working on without of that manual system. It will be working
Sir,
on the computer. Yeah.
already you have discussed in the offline class, na, sir.
No, previous classes, this is the continuously replication of that entirely each of that section only. So everything it will be reflected in the unit number 7. So what is the circulation? We have the explain in the detailed of that circulation of that model. What type of that methodologies is there? They are the given the brief of the content here. So you can listen this one. So some people is the new people is there. New people is also joined here. They knows, they doesn't knows. So that's why we are the explaining the brief content of that information in this scenario. So basically here, what is the purpose of these things? Just on the not only in depth of these things, I can goes to the overview of this area. So there's the library automation, circulation, what is the circulation means. In the library, any books and issues and returns it will be going on. That is the name is the called as a circulation. So in this circulation mean one serial control is there. So serial control. What is the serial of that control means? The serial, the library circulation module in the web-based in the LIPSIS of the library software, the serial control is there. The serial control means in work, you are the publishing the books, you are the procuring the journals, you are procuring the periodicals, magazines. The periodicals are coming in timely or not, easily how it will be identifying, it is a very difficulty. So the serial of the controlling system is there. The periodicity is the quite differentiated. Some periodicals it will becomes to the monthly, bi-monthly, fortnightly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly. So every issue it will be not missing to controlling to identifying each of that book is received or not in our library. So on that basis, the control system it will be serial control system. It will be retrieving to controlling the library transactions of receiving or not. That is the main thing. So mainly particulars of that serial management is called as a so a lot of publications today. Big library is there. A lot of publications is there in the world wise. All the publications they are the publishing. Your library is the procuring n number of that magazines. It will be in timely or coming or not. How it will be identifying? What is that manner? The serial control is there. You are the entry on that level in the serial. The next issue are came or not easily to identifying. That is the one thing. And also several periodicity of the publication. Periodicity means the monthly, bi-monthly it will be publishing. It will be timely, it will be comes or not. That is the possibility of the change. Sometimes the publisher they are the changing. So it will be comes or not. So the main motto of that point of view thing is in timely the journals are coming or not. That is the main thing of that thing. That is the main of the functionality. And the second one is work from the workflow in the serial control. Workflow in the serial control means all the publications are in timely coming or not, all the publishers are publishing or not. So any changes is going on, any journals is the stopping, in timely they are the coming or not. So for example, best example, our library is there, IIT Hyderabad or IIT Bombay, IIT Madras. They are the procuring the 2000 of journals or magazines in the print version. In timely are coming or not. So as per the library norms, the 500 periodical is there, one assistant librarian is the required or one library assistant is the required. They are the monitoring of one in his duty is the periodicals is the coming or not monitoring in his responsibility. Another 500,000 periodicals is there. One library assistant is required. That main motto is to workflow to identifying the periodicals are in timely coming or not. That is the primary of that workflow of that control. In timely coming or not. Workflow means regularly publishing or not. That is the main thing. Serial checklist. So serial checklist means in time it will be coming or not. That is also one thing. And also majorly what is the subscribing or subscription retains. So subscriptions maintains, for example, where the subscribing some of the journals, they are the refusing or internally the continuation or not. So identifying that is the most important. And budget statement. So budget management is the mainly key role. So budget management of that means any book, any journal, it will be publishing or procuring of that books. You have the funds allocation is there or not. You can prepare. For example, 1 CR is there in our fund. So how much of that amount you are the spending the textbooks, reference books, and periodicals or department library or journals. You can identify the statistical data. So which department, which journals, how much of that amount you can spend. That is the main role. And also future controls of that controlling system. So future controlling system means in the online administration, online of that web app, so easily to identifying no the publishers are coming on some of the journals is online journals is there online they're the publishing or not easily to understanding that is the main version. So today majority of the publication they do not to publishing the print editions, they are the going to the e-editions, electronic printouts, electronic journals. So that contemporary will becomes or not you can identifying. And uh, algorithms and chain management. So this is all are in the integrity of this. The journals are in timely coming or not. That is the main thing. Features look like in the serial modules. So serial modules means the all the periodicals in timely coming, all the publications of the information it will be displayed. So our opaque system it will be working or opaque it will be integrating of the circulation. So this is all are integrating integrated of that one connectivity to another connectivity. So the serial control is also one of the parameter to controlling of that opaque. Opaque is also it will becomes to the circulation mode. So this is the circulation mode. The circulation mode, the next one is circulation control. Circulation control means, you would right now we are studying the circulation. Circulation is the first one is the what is the called as serial control. Serial control to identifying that is the one module of that work. And second module of that work, circulation control. Circulation control means For example, in our library, the students is there. They're the borrowing the books from the library. So how many books we are the issuing? So what is the charging of the discharging? Charging means how many books you are the issuing. Discharging. How many books you are the issued? How many books you are the receiving? Renewals. How many books you are the renewals today? Reservations. How many books they are the sending that mails? We are the receiving the books. And recalls. For example, some of the important books are there. The students are that taken, they did not return the in timely. So recall to the concerning people, return the books immediately to the library. Queries. So some people they are the asking that mails to us. Please generate the plagiarism of that report. So that type of the overdue of that books. In case the students those who are the taken that books in timely, they did not to return to the submitting in the library. So just immediately it will be implicit the penalties. That is one thing. And database management. So in the database management of the system means the what type of the journals we are the procuring, what type of the database management system, your users is there, how many users is there, how many users are regularly working, how many they are the borrowing, non-borrowing of the people to identifying the database. So this is the major aspects, and in this scenario, it will be reflected to the more circulation effectively to workingly. So in this mainly the here the circulation, this all the functionaries is the major key role in the circulation of that mode. So this is the brief of that indication, not only for the short notes, it will be comes to the main examination, main 15 marks of the essay also, you can mention that answer correctly. And next lesson is the unit number 8 is the called as a, this lesson is the over, this is the circulation of that mode of that method, this is the opaque is over, the circulation is the over, okay, the circulation is the two categories is over, opaque is also is the over, the brief description of the opaque. The right now we are the discussing to the computer information services. So majorly this lesson, computers information services. Today the libraries without of that IT, they did not do library. So in this level, whatever that methodology is the going on, classifications. The library mainly how it will be classified. So 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 all the books are there. How it will be going on? Classifying of that method. In the classifying of the method, the first one is the computers in the classification of the work. Computers of the classification of that work means majorly indexing. So what is that indexing? A word, one thing, and the captions, library, Congress, David decimal classification. First thing is the relative of that index. That means the subject identification. Which is the books is the relevant for the computers is the relevant or mathematical is the relevant. Computer textbook is the required and a computer program is the required. So that books is the identifying, that is the first thing, and the captions, that is the called as a word format, and the passages. So some of the content of that information means it will be comes to the some passage level, a word level of that files also is there, that information. And the library of that congress to support into the classification of that method, that is the called as a dv numbers. So David Decimal classification of that number. Library, all the libraries, what type of that method they are the following? Classification of that method. Classification is the method is the DDC and colon classification. So majorly in the David Decimal classification in the numerical method, they are the following. So in the basic indexing, so basic indexing of the system means in the subject wise in the allocations of that numbers. So that is the main thing. So and also automatic indexing. So automatic indexing of the system is, so engineering sciences is there, more concentrating on the sources of that information. So that is the authenticate of that indexing. So engineering stream it will be reflected to the continuously one of that area it will be reflected. This type of that books are there in our library. So that is the main point of view. And second one is the um, what is the continuation of that automatic indexing. So continuation of that automatic of that indexing is the reflected to synthesis of the editors and alphabetical numbers and punctuations and etc. Comma, full stop and punctuations is there. Not only for the same content of same continuation of that matter, comma, punctuations, full stop, etc. Inverted commas is there. That is the called as a automatic indexing system. So the for example that and, ro, which places they are the using of the searching engine is the boolean of that marketing operating of the system. That means accurating of that information they are the searching. At the time, the people will be using the method of that boolean and or etc. So this codes it will be reflected to working on that in the library classification. Here also in our library, for example, I have told you in the several classes. Once we are searching in the physics, n number of the books it will be reflected. Once A and R you have the applied, it will be reflected to only what type of that author name you have the searching, that type of that method also, that type of that books only, it will be reflected. Procedure of automatic indexing. So once the library automation is there, procedure of automatic of the indexing system. So alphabetical order method in the top to bottom, all the books is the going to the agriculture to zoology, alphabetical method, all the books it will becomes to the one umbrella of that platform. And indexing. So indexing of the precise. So that is the called as a British numerical bibliography. So in our library, majority of the our library system it will be going on British library of that method. So because that is a user friendly of that manner. The bibliographical information of that content in the before of the freedom movement also they are the establishing in our libraries. They are the standard unique library system. They are the implicated in the world ways. So in the meanwhile, in the British library numerical bibliographical method. So in our library bibliographical numerical method means, for example, the DDC classification numerical method. So in the library also same scenario, it will be reflected to the subject wise, author wise, title wise. It will be reflected to the library information. This is the major key role of information. Thesis the constructions. So thesis construction means padavachanamu. So that means, for example, the coming, for example, one theme, one only one meaning manner is there. Manner that is only one thesaurus. What is that manner means? You can reflecting of in our character. So this is the ethical values. So mannerism means the ethics and values of that human being. So I am the good citizen. I am doing my sincerity and honesty. This is the manner of the humanism. So this is the theme of the theme. The thesaurus means the thesaurus it will be reflected. What is that? The dictionary is there. Thesaurus. So there the dictionaries is the two categories. One is the what is the dictionary means in our idea it will be goes to the only one method. What is the called as meaning of that method? So one for example English to English, English to Telugu. This is conversion of that one method. So the thesaurus is quite differentiative. They are the giving the one of that word, it will becomes to the full meaning of this thing. So this is the differentiative. This to the general dictionaries is there. The general dictionaries it will be reflected to the meaning of that information only. Whether the English to English, English to Telugu, that type of that what are the verb we are the asking. That information will be reflected only in the dictionaries. Thesaurus is called as one sentence, one theme is there it one for example, Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is the name is there. What is the stands for Hyderabad? Hyderabad is the capital of the Telangana. So it will be reflected to the more elaborate of that information. That is called thesaurus. That means the brief content of that information, it will be reflected. This is the mainly. So this is the name is called as a pada kavachamu. That means any one ఒక పదము వాడామంటే ఆ పదానికి కంటిన్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ థీమ్స్ ఇట్ వస్తుంది. So that is the main thing. So here in our library, it will be reflected the key role of this thing. And also major key role is CAS, current awareness system in the library. So this is a major key role. It will be comes to the short notes and also current awareness of that system. For example, today the short notes is coming to your mobile. So that is called as a current awareness of the system. That means new trends and technologies, what type of that methods is the going on, that content of that information, the news or books or journals, that for example alerts of the services it will be going on. That is the current awareness. That means in the current burning of that information, what type of the burning of that issues is the going on, that information will be reflected. That is the called as a current information system. That is the mainly. So here all the newspapers are coming. Big example, newspapers, periodicals, this is the current information. In the periodicals it will be reflected today what is the going on, what information is the going on, it will be reflected to the directly. That is one thing. Second one is the SDA. So this is the key role of that operation, the selective dissemination of that information. For example, Xerox reflected that information they were the browsing, that information will be reflected directly That is the selective dissemination of the information. For example, you are the researcher, you are the science, you are working on science contemporary of that area. In the pure sciences, you are the biological sciences, you are the researching. If you need the biological information only, in our biological databases, you can create in your account just like as the Gmail. You can create it in the biological database. What type of that new biological articles is the required, you can drop on the box. So in the drop on that box, directly it will be reflected. What are the new articles is came, directly it will be dumping in our portal. No need to go to searching entirely, enter the database. So you can clicking on that. Whenever it will be publishing the articles, that is reflected on the screen. That is the main thing. So this is the key role is the selective dissemination of that information, major key role on that area. So key role is working on that. The information, what is the realistic is the going on, that information it will be retrieving to providing qualitative of that information. That is the QAS method. That is the one thing. And also translation servicing using the computer. Translation services, you know the computer. Advantages of that computers in the mainly advantages, disadvantages is there. So what is the computer advantage? You know, easiest of that way, quick manner, save of the time, authentication of that information, fastest of that information. It will be n number of the advantages is there. Disadvantages also is there. What is the disadvantages? So majorly translation servicing of the system of the computer. So it will be translating. So some it will be, for example, Lipsys software is there. The translating method also is there. That is the bilingual of that language. So such type of that softwares it will be upgrading to supporting on that. So this is the major key roles of the computers. So here searching of that information, database literature searching. So in the database literature searching engine means in the databases bibliography. Database means one simple thing. What are that institutional level? There are the subscribing institutional databases. That means the brief total content of that information. For example, IEEE or Science Direct or JGate or Pure Sciences, Engineering Sciences, any one of the data that is the commercial indiastat.com. These databases, they are the giving the company profile, Procast is there. Procast, they are the giving to the world-wise, India-wise, world-wise corporate companies information. So which company, whatever thing. Okay, so that means the databases means in the bibliographical information. Bibliographical information means content of the textbook of that information. That is the mainly databases mainly to whom to send the databases, vendors. So vendors means for example, best example, Airtel and Geo, some mobile networks is there. There the vendors is the Reliance and Sunil, that people will be Airtel. They are the sold the entirely India wide. Same scenario in the databases. Indiastat.com is there. The government of India, they are the database for authorized people. IEEE is there. That is the USA people. EBISCO is there. Management database. That is the EBISCO people is there. So ASE, American Society of that Engineering, is there. American Civil Engineering Journals, they are the publishing different domains of that people is there in the world ways. The databases are creating to providing the content of that information. Best example in Enadu is there. Enadu paper, they are the publishing the database of that information for the Ramoji group of that people. Who is that mentor? Ramoji Rao only. Same scenario, the IEEE is there. IEEE is the one of the engineering sciences of the database. So it will be publishing by the USA. In the worldwide, the people will be sold. One of the publisher is there, they are the sold the different domains of that people, they are the sold in the databases. So n number of that people, any one of that people, they are the uploading in his database. Delnet is there, developing of that library network. This is the one of the database. So that is the Delnet. Sangeeta Kaul is the director. She is the maintaining the database. This is the database of the developer, her name. So this is the main thing. Data in our library databases. So in the bibliographical databases is there, library database, CD and DVDs. Is the multimedia of the databases. So all the commercial databases is there. It will be providing to in our library to procuring the database and providing the information to the user community. Easiest of the my library is there. Engineering stream of the supporting of the system. So I am the procuring all the engineering streams from the databases only. So in the EBISCO is there in the management database. The management colleges is there. B schools and MBA colleges, they are the procuring such type of the databases. So this is the patterns of the databases of that information. So right now this unit is the clear. And next one is the block 3, databases and networks. So in the databases, what is the databases? What is the network? So databases means, so any one of the company, any one of the corporate company, the people, they are the publishing the qualitative of that information concerning the user domain. They are the publishing the all the areas. For example, Computer Society of that India is there. They are the publishing the computer related of that information. That is the computer databases. That is the called as a computer. IndiaStat.com is there in the government of India. IndiaStat.com, what is the reflected entirely in the, all the states of that information, countries of that information. So every people to understanding the growth graph rates, population information, statistics of that growth, the last 10 years, what is the population growth, that type of the statistical information it will be reflected. That is one of the databases. This is all one of the areas of the databases, one thing. And databases is the majorly to what is the functionalities, mainly in the fields of whether the agriculture database is there, medical database is there, social sciences database is there, engineering science database is there. Different fields of the different domains of that areas, the databases is working on that. That is the one thing. And also mm, records. Records also what type of the domain you have, that type of the records it will be reflected. Your library is the medical library. So what type of the database it will be reflected? The database is only medical records, medical prescription, medical information, only it will be reflected. That is one thing. And also files. So files also in your library, what type of the domain you are the working, that type of the files only you are the kept it in our library. That is the main thing here. So the fields and records and fulfill. So fields and records, what type of that you can choose the field, whether the agriculture or agriculture sector or medical sector or engineering sector or social sector. What type of that sector you can choose the field, the type of the database and record the data, which is the database you can require, you can procure in that and you can fill it up in your requirement of in your user community. That is the main important. Yeah, emphasis and main attributes. So emphasis and attributes means what type of that information is the required. Genuinely, you can select and uploading that information, accurate of information, your user community and the attributes. So realistic of that information, accurate of that information. So desirable of that people they are the working. Your people is the doctor. You are the providing the anatomy, biological sciences of that information, not only for the engineering stream. So a requirement of the databases, you can adapt to the concerning of the domains only.